Hi, everyone. We're Reshma Tiwari and Swati Singh, two healthcare and wellness enthusiasts who are extremely passionate about women's health. And with World Menopause Day just around the corner, we thought of diving into the not so discussed realities of menopause. And essentially, we would like to cover everything from symptoms to solutions and the entire sausage making and everything in between. So, without further ado, I would actually like to ask a few questions and seek a few clarifications from our in-house, so to say, expert Swati Singh, who I passionately love talking about this topic. So, Swati, what do you think is the typical menopausal age? Would you say women who are 35 to 40, would they be considered too young to talk about this topic?
Hey, thank you, Reshma, for this question. I'm so glad that we are talking about this today. Yeah, let's start from talking about the age range and the range which actually the women are from 45 to 55 is the average range for perimenopause, menopause. However, 5-10 years here and there is also completely normal. So when women are in mid 30s, they might start experiencing a couple symptoms of menopause, and due to the lack of awareness, they are not able to connect two and two. So I think it is very important for us to talk about it that yes, even if you are 35 or 37 or 39, you may be experiencing some of the symptoms that are linked to perimenopause and lack of estrogen and stuff. Yeah, that's what is a average age in USA is 51, but then as I said, 5-10 plus and minus is not abnormal. It's perfectly okay.
You know, you totally hit the nail on its head because I am completely in that age range now. I'm 45.
Yeah.
I never thought till a few months ago that I would be considered such an active candidate of perimenopause until I started actually feeling some of the symptoms. I've been experiencing a lot of hair fall.
Yeah.
And then I guess in discussions with you, it's my understanding that, yeah, it can happen. Everyone has different symptoms. And I realize that we don't even talk about this, right? We don't even question it or discuss it. So why should we even talk about it? Especially for a person like me, I would appreciate your insights.
Yeah. No, it's very important because honestly speaking, if you asked me 5 years ago, should we have this conversation on menopause? And I would be like, why do we even need a conversation, right? The same with you, right? You would be like, what is the need to have a conversation? But now, since we are going through this phase, I realize this conversation is so important and we need to just normalize this because there's such a shame, a stigma, embarrassment around this topic that no one wants to talk about. And you know what? The data shows in 2025, 1 billion women are actually entering into menopause with very little or no knowledge.
Wow.
So what happens? Yeah, there's a big information gap and there is such a silence. So we have to talk about it, normalize it, create more awareness so we don't suffer like our moms did, our grandmoms did. They had no support. They were just, suffering in silence. Times have changed and we have to normalize this. It is a very important part of life because, 1/3 of our life we spend in menopausal. So once you're in menopause, you're always in menopause. There's no going back as such.
True.
So we educating ourselves, we finding support and, getting to spread more awareness is only going to change the trajectory of women in the future. So yeah, I think it is a very important conversation and we need to have this. It's about time now.
Yeah, Swati, very good point that while it's our grandmothers, our mothers, and our aunts, they suffer through this. I would say to a large extent, even doctors, right? There is this whole information gap. When I went to meet my OB maybe a few years ago, they never even brought it up. Maybe now things are changing, or maybe there's still an information gap. But I truly believe we as women at especially 30, 50 range, we're going through so much. We deserve the help and support.
Absolutely.
Through this journey.
Absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, I'm glad that you are bringing this up about this doctor thing because my personal experience, when I started experiencing these symptoms, I was going to my doctor with this question that I am experiencing extreme night flashes, anxiety, etc., and I had severe musculoskeletal pain also. And she was like, "No, it's nothing. It's normal. You are just in menopause," and as if there is no solution, as if there is no help, and I have no means of getting, feeling better or getting help. So I honestly do not blame the doctors, because as what we know from all the medical tenure of their education, they get only couple hours about menopause. So obviously they did not have the education and support, and that is why we as women, as patients, are not getting the supports either. And in USA, the time window that we get with our doctors is so little that it's
Very
so
tiny.
hard. Yeah, it's like 10 minutes. Apparently,
Right.
40 years ago, there used to be a larger window, 30 minutes or 45 minutes.
Wow.
But now, yeah, at the time crunch, the doctors are in so much demand that we don't get enough time. There is no time to explain. And then, as we said, because there are no menopause specialists, so they are not equipped with the knowledge and the support that they can provide us. And once we are brushed off by doctors as if, it's normal and
Right.
suffering is like inevitable, etc., etc., we are like left with no option. Like, we don't know where to go, what to do. So I think it is very important for us women, to have this conversation and discuss that there is support and there is help around it. And it's just a matter of us finding out and going out and seeking it.
And
So
actually addressing it head on.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, addressing it. Because honestly, from where I was last year and where I am, I'm so proud that I am in this position, because I chose to dig in deeper and deeper. And now I want to help everybody I know so that they can thrive also. So, yeah.
Right. And that's where to try and help our ladies and our fellow
Seriously.
women that we love. I think, why don't we discuss one of the most controversial topics where we think we can help and
Yes.
how we can help and how it's a taboo, which is related to menopause, HRT, or a hormone replacement therapy. So, what are your thoughts about HRT?
Well, hormones is honestly my favorite topic. HRT, as we know, hormone replacement therapy, because when you find out about what estrogen is, what it does to your body, and what the lack of estrogen does to your body, then you know that HRT is not like a bad option. The only thing that happened was there was a study, a faulty study done in 2001. What happened was it was stopped midway, and there was a press conference called. And the problem was with the study was they chose very older women for this study.
Oh,
They ranged from 60 to 79 years. Now, these women were already at the verge of cardiovascular disease, already at the verge of getting cancer and stuff because of the aging one
right, right.
issue.
Age-related health issues.
Correct, correct. And even if the study wasn't complete, they stopped the study and had a huge press conference in Washington, D.C. And there they were announcing that hormones can increase the risk of cancer. And yes, and media took this information and went viral. And 2001 onwards, this HRT has been demonized, when the fact is, this was not actually that came out. What came out, the data was 1 in 1,000 women might get cancer because of the hormone replacement therapy. So think about this. The risk is like 0.08% or something. So it's very, very low risk that of getting cancer, but the advantages are numerous. The benefits are numerous. So unfortunately, because of that, people have been demonizing HRT, and we have to understand estrogen is what we were thriving on all these years. And
True.
now the lack is causing everything, the hair fall, everything,
Yeah, I know. I'm going through it.
Yeah, I
So
know.
it is miserable. And I wish, I had known earlier. I would have brought this up with my OB, which I do definitely intend to do
Yeah,
the next time. Actually, it's next month, my OB's appointment.
good.
But if there are solutions, if there are options, I think one,
Yes.
women need to know about them.
Yeah.
But even before they know about them, they need to talk about it. So talk to the OB.
Exactly. There has to be a conversation on the table that, okay, so these are your options, and this is what the minimum risk is, and this is what the benefits are that you are going to get from this. Like chemotherapy, there is a lot of, side effects to that. therapy also, but we always focus on the good part that it is curing cancer.
Right.
But same thing, HRT has little bit side effect, but we need to focus on the all the good things that is doing because it has a very minimal risk. And women should be at least allowed to have this conversation, know the facts, and then decide for themselves if they want to choose to go through that route and thrive on hormones, or they want to do everything else and just wait on the hormones. It should be their choice, not
Very
denied.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, very true, Swati. I think it's very important to arm them with all the information. And then
Absolutely.
ultimately, right, it's their decision. It's the onus is on them, how they look at this, how they imbibe this, and how they react to it. But that's where I would say that this information that we have shared, hopefully you do not keep it to yourself. I mean, reach out to your sister, to your mother, to your aunt, to that friend of yours, and any woman that you love who will eventually go through this entire menopause phase. We want to make sure that they are aware, they talk, they discuss, and we get that much closer to closing the gap, one honest conversation at a time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I would request all of you to listen to this and share with your friends because we need to have this conversation, share information, get support because menopause care is not just a privilege. It's our right. So please, women, just share it with your friends and sisters and whoever, and we need to, thrive together. And until then, we have to do another session on this. And then thank you for joining us.
Thank you.